Today we're going to talk to you a little bit about postpartum depression. So first off, why is this not talked about more, right? Because I remember right after I had my son, I would wait for my husband and my son to go to sleep, and I would just cry, right? Like I would cry, I was mean to myself. I would tell myself things like, oh, you're going to be a terrible mom. You are a terrible mom. Like, you're a terrible wife. You're terrible at everything. You haven't lost your baby weight. Like, you look horrible. All these mean things. And the thing is, like, we think that we can handle it, right? Like, this is one of those things where us as women, like, we just push it back. Like, we don't really talk about it. We don't ask other people about it. Like, it's not something that we actively talk about because we feel like we've got a handle on it, right? Or whenever we think about it, if you haven't gone through it and you're thinking about it, you're like, oh, I'll be able to handle it. Like, I'll get through it by myself. Or if you are going through it, you're like, it's okay. I'll be okay. Y'all, I have friends who have kids who are like 2 and 3 years old, and they still are going through postpartum depression. Still. And if this is the case, then this is not something that we can just handle on our own. This is not something that we can just get through real quick. Like, it's just not. Why is this not something that we're actively talking about all the time, right? Like, you just gave birth, your hormones are all over the place. Some of them moved to Canada, some of them went to Europe and they're just partying it up. Some of your hormones are on a beach in Australia, right? Like, we don't know where they're at or what's going on, right? So, I just want to talk to you guys about some of the things that really helped me get through postpartum depression. And before I tell you guys these things, like before I start, I just want to say that, like, if you're having a really tough time, you need to talk to somebody. This is not something that you get through on your own. This is not something that you can just brush off within a few days. Like, this is something that seriously affects us that we just don't ever talk about. Like, this is not like a widely, I guess it's widely known, but it's not widely, like, accepted and talked about because we feel, I don't know, maybe we feel bad for talking about it. Maybe we feel like we should be able to handle it. Maybe we feel guilty for asking for help. But I'm here to tell you right now that it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to need help to get through this. Because we are only human. We are humans who just created a life. Like, we created a full human being. Living, breathing baby. Like, it's okay to need some help after that. It's perfectly okay. And I want to tell you too that I'm totally here for you. Look me up on Facebook, Instagram, shoot me a message. Like, I'm totally here for you, girlfriend. You can talk to me, okay? The phone is shaking because my dog is scratching. By the way, there's not an earthquake, in case you were wondering. So, the first thing that really helped me is positive self-talk. So, like, every morning, I would tell myself positive things about myself. Like, every morning, I would write down, Libby, girlfriend. Every morning, I would write down, you are a wonderful mom. Every single morning, I would physically write down with a pen in a bullet journal, I would write, I am an amazing mom. I am an amazing wife. I am amazing at what I do. I will achieve anything I set my mind to. I am the most positive person I know. Every morning, I would write these things down, okay? And the second thing that really helped is just being honest with myself about what was going on. A lot of the times, we can't be honest with ourselves because we don't realize what's going on. Like, those first few days that we left the hospital, y'all, I had no no idea what the hell was going on. Like, I was crying, like, I felt terrible about myself, like, everything I did was wrong. The first step is just being honest with yourself and being able to realize what's going on. Like, realize, like, oh my gosh, like, I'm having symptoms of postpartum depression right now. I need to get this taken care of. The second thing that really helped me is talking to someone. And I don't, y'all, when I say talking to someone, so help me, sweet baby Jesus in heaven, it's like the first thing we want to do is run to the first person who's going through the same thing we're going through at the same time we're going through it. That is not the answer, because that person's having trouble too. So the way it's going to work is you're going to cry, and then she's going to cry, and then you both are going to contribute to each other's depression. Like, you're contributing to each other's depression and terrible thoughts and, like, problems. No, don't go talk to your bestie who has also just had a baby who's going through it at the same time. You need to talk to somebody who's gone through it before you and successfully gotten through it. And let me put this into perspective for you. You would not go ask an obese person how to get into shape. Like, that person has never been in shape in their life. Why? Don't go ask them how to get into shape. So why would you ask somebody who's also going through this for the first time how to get through it? They've never been through it. And you guys, we have this thing to where, like, we think that we know. Like, we think we know how to handle it on our own. I am telling you, please talk to somebody who you trust, who has already gotten through this, who has successfully had kids and gotten through postpartum depression, right? For me, that person was my older sister. Oh, she is like my best friend. Like, she is absolutely amazing. She's had 2 kids already. Like, she's gone through postpartum depression. She's gotten through it. And here's the thing. I didn't even know that she had postpartum depression before, because it wasn't talked about. Like, it's not something that's talked about, because a lot of times we feel like it's insignificant, right? Like, postpartum depression is just, it isn't like a significant thing. It is significant, y'all. It's important, and it's very important to our health that we do something about it. And talking to somebody who has already been through it, who knows how to get through it, who can successfully help you, someone who can help you get through it. Because again, it's okay to ask for help getting through it. It's perfectly okay. That's what's going to help you. You can't talk to somebody who's also going through postpartum depression for the first time. You're just going to contribute to each other. Like, depression, like, her hormones are crazy. She's not thinking clearly. Your hormones are crazy. You're not thinking clearly. Like, both of y'all's hormones are probably off in Europe or Canada or Australia, like, partying or doing something crazy. Okay? No. And I get that that's your best friend and you just want to help each other out, and that's freaking great. But both of you need to talk to a different person who has already gone through it, who can actually help you. Y'all, I would go to the gym, sit in the parking lot, and cry. Not even walk in the gym. Y'all, I would call my sister, okay, and just cry. Like, I literally told her, like, I'm a horrible mom. She helped me get through that because she wasn't going through it at the same time, because she had already been through it. The next thing you need to do is get out of the house. For the love of God, get out of the house. And this doesn't have to be like driving 4 hours to go somewhere. If you need to get out to be by yourself, get out and be by yourself. I mean, go sit on the front porch for an hour. Go take a walk. You go grab your best friend who also had a baby, because this is something you can do with her. Go take a walk with her, right? Like, You guys both get out of the house. Take your kid on a walk if you want your baby with you. Go sit on the front porch and read a book. Just somehow physically get out of the house. Because it's so easy, y'all, to just sit in the house and just want to crawl under the covers and cry. It's so easy to just want to sit inside the house and do nothing. And I totally get that because I work from home. Like, I started my business when I was pregnant, run my business completely from home, from my computer, while I take care of my kid. So it was extra important for me to get out of the house. Even if that means your front yard or your backyard or just taking your dog on a walk, go on a hike. After you've healed and recovered, go on a hike. Until then, take a walk somewhere. Just get out of the house. Get out of the house as many times a day as you need to. You get out of the house. And then the next thing, you guessed it, you need to exercise. And this doesn't have to be like, you don't have to go to the gym for an hour. You don't even have to lift weights. You don't have to wake up at 4 a.m. and do crazy cardio. Honey, you just had a baby, okay? You just had a baby. You don't need to be doing any of that. What you need to be doing is just walking. Just go walk. Walk on a treadmill. Walk down your road. Walk around your front yard. Y'all, just do some kind of exercise. And the reason that I say exercise is because right now, like if you're going through postpartum depression, your happy hormones are gone. Like they're not getting to your brain. So exercising releases those endorphins into your brain. Yes, exercise makes people happy, whether you want to believe it or not. It's proven. It releases serotonin into your brain. Go for a walk. Nothing crazy because you did just birth a baby. Okay? Like, we are still recovering. Let's not get crazy here. But do something. Do some kind of exercise, okay? Those are the things that really helped me get through postpartum depression in what I feel like was a decent amount of time, because it was within the first like 5 to 6 months after having a baby that I feel like that's when I feel like I really got through it and got past it. I talked to my older sister. I got out of the house every single day. Most of those days, actually almost 100% of those days, I literally took my son outside with me and sat on the front porch. That is it. Like, I ate my lunch on the front porch those days. Just to get out of the house. I did all my workouts, all my walking, everything for the longest time. I did them at a track, at a park, right down the road from our house. Outside, I didn't go into the gym. I got out of the house. And I talked to someone who had been through it, who cared about me and could help me get through it. And that is so important. I have no idea, no answer for why this is not talked about more. Like, this is something that we should all be talking about, especially as women. Like, especially like we're all having babies and creating life. Like, this is something that we all need to talk about. We do. This is something that we need to ask for help with. And it's okay to ask for help. Like, you're a new mom. You need all the help you can get. Like, my mother-in-law was freaking amazing. Whenever me and my husband brought my son home, y'all, my mother-in-law helped me so much. And I was not about to tell her no. No. She asked, like, can I watch him for you? Can I do this for you? Can I do that for you? Yes. Always say yes. If someone offers to help you, say yes. Don't feel bad for taking that help, because you're a new mom. If this is like your second child or even your third or fourth child, listen, you have even more on your plate. Don't say no to that help. It's okay. It takes so much off of you to just say yes and talk to somebody. Let's talk about this more. If you guys need someone to talk to about postpartum depression or what you're going through, listen, find me on Facebook, Crystal with a C, Hogshead, or find me on Instagram, House of Hogshead, just like my YouTube. I love you guys. I really hope this helped you guys. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel where I put out new videos every Monday and Wednesday. I love you guys. I hope this helped. Have an awesome week.